creator's world. Listen.
We can talk about anything. Creators girl talk. Creators girl talk. We can talk about everything. Creators girl talk.
Let's talk about it.
Girl talk. Everything pertaining to life and godliness. We can talk about everything pertaining to life and godliness. Creators girl talk. Creators girl talk.
Let's talk to him.
Creators girl talk. Creators girl talk. Creators girl talk.
Hey everybody!
Hey!
Welcome to another episode of Creators Girl Talk! Hey! Oh, we got a juicy one for you today.
Yes.
Right? But we're so excited to be here today, and I'm here with our beautiful co-hosts, and they are
Rochelle, Melissa, Annie.
and I am Markeisha Coleman, the Creators Girl! We'll hear a little bit from Kelly B. We can't forget about Kelly B.
Kelly B.
We miss you, girl, but we know you are around here somewhere. Right? All right. So look, we're going to jump right into this thing.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about has feminism gone too far? We decided to talk about this today because of the things that we see that's going on, just worldwide. It didn't start off to be a bad thing, right?
Right.
Pastor Annie, tell us what feminism is.
Well, according to Wikipedia, it says here, feminism is a range of socio-political movements and ideologies that aim to define and establish the political, economic, personal, and social equality of the sexes. In other words, feminism incorporates the position that society prioritizes the male point of view and that women are treated unjustly in these societies.
Well, it also says that feminist political activists campaign in the areas of reproductive rights, domestic violence, fairness, social justice, and workplace issues such as family medical leave, equal pay, and sexual harassment and discrimination.
Wow. And even today, now, feminism is stigmatized in various ways. And a number of people refuse or are afraid to associate with being a feminist. Why is that? Firstly, feminists are often perceived as man-hating extremists. In addition, misunderstanding is that feminism is about women bashing men.
Wow.
And this is not just happening, just in the streets. This also happens within the church as well.
Yeah.
I've seen whole churches that men could not come in. It was only women. I remember even hearing of a church called I think it was the Church of the Black Madonna.
Oh, no.
They even erected a church after Beyonce.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, to each his own, but everything has become where the female wants to take over. So our regular female duties or being feminine is looked upon as being wrong now. That sugar and spice, everything's nice. This is what, girls are made of and all that kind of stuff. Nobody wants to be that anymore. I do understand that, that if we're doing the same job as a man, we should get the same pay or, and things like that. But I don't really agree with taking the man's place because a woman can't procreate.
Now, that's the truth.
A woman cannot have a baby by herself.
No.
So you can't do away with the men. Can't do away with the men because you do need them for something.
We need the men.
And not only that, there are a lot of things that men can do that women can do that personally I don't want to do it. I don't want to change my own tire if you get a flat. Can I change it? Yes. Do I want to? No. So it's a lot of things that feminism has went way too far with. They not just want equal rights of the man; they want to be the man.
Oh wow!
And that's a whole nother show of trying to replace the man. And so you can't get with a lot of these things that's going on because they do men bash. All of us just happen to be married, so somebody might say, "Oh, y'all just saying that because you're married." No, I'm saying that because I don't want to do it. I grew up, and it was only 2 girls, so we had at one time about 20 dogs in our backyard.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
So we had to clean up after those dogs. We had to feed them dogs because our father was a hunter. Not to mention we had a German Shepherd and a Doberman Pinscher, as well. So they were guard dogs, and you have to clean up and do all these different things. As females, we didn't want to do that stuff, but we had to do it because we didn't have no other choice. Now that I'm an adult, if I had, dogs and different things like that, I'm not shoveling dog manure. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go out there and do all these different things. I don't want to go to the garden. I don't want to cut the grass. These are things that we associate with men. Just like they don't want to wash clothes. Most of them, some men do it, and bless your whole heart if you do. They wash their own clothes. They'll wash your clothes if you want to. My husband irons my clothes because I don't want to iron. I count that as a privilege. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things in the household, like I felt like we want to do. My mother used to say, "Don't start nothing." When I first got married, she was like, "Don't start nothing if you don't want to keep it up." Right. And so she saw me bring my husband his plate one day, and she was like, she looked at me. She was like, "Okay, now in 20 years you ain't gonna want to do that." Well, it's 25 years, and I'm still bringing my husband his plate because that was something that I like doing. I like to see the smile on his face when I didn't cook the good meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I won't, So like, I don't see nothing wrong with being feminine, even though I'm probably one of the hard-bodiest people in the world as a female, I still don't want to be a man. It's too much pressure on the men for me. I'm just saying.
And I remember listening not too long ago to a life coach that was giving some information about how we can be less feminine in the workplace. Okay. Because there were she was actually talking heavily on body language and things like that, how you can read people, and how if you want to be respected as a woman, there's certain things that we have to do. We have to reduce our feminism, our femininity, I should say. Where, if you're in a boardroom and you're playing with your necklace or twirling your hair, it's just certain things that they say men won't respect us in those. Even how we sit. Men make themselves big. We make ourselves little. And things like that. So it's all to make sure that. And now I will say I am a feminist because I really believe in women having equal rights when it comes to the workplace. Amen. Like I don't want to be in a working environment where the job description is the complete same, and yet my counterparts, because of their gender, they're getting paid more. I'm not for that at all. Right. I want us to have equal rights when it comes to that in the economic world and things like that. Even in the church, there's some inequalities when it comes to feminism. Like you were saying earlier, it's a church. Some churches, especially in the Muslim church, or most of the Muslim churches, the women have to sit on one side and the men have to sit on the other side. There are mosques where the men come in one door and the women have to enter through the back door.
Yeah, that's true.
So these things still exist in our society. It's just that, with those women who felt that they were under and not equal, the fight to come up to this equal place has made us want to push down and against the man. And that we can't do because God in Corinthians, he set the order. Christ is the head and the man, and then, so the order has been set, but like I said, you open that door and then the floodgates come pouring in where women try to just override the whole thing. Instead, like you said, instead of me wanting to be equal, I want to be in charge. I don't want a seat at the table. I want to run the table. I want to be at the head of the table. And then in order to do that, now I got to demasculate every man that's around me in order for me to feel strong and important and, like I said, big in the room, when we have our own special anointing and our own ways and our own graces to move in the earth with our femininity and still exude a sense of power and attention that doesn't take There's certain women that can walk in a room and they energy just say, y'all better be quiet, y'all better move out the way. Just the energy that we can exude and still be, like even with like Mother Grimes, for instance, if you would totally overlook our apostle because she's a little older now, so she's real petite and this and the other, but she can say 2 words that will just chop you to your knees.
Right. Right. That's true.
Bring the whole order.
Chop you to your knees.
Well, listen, so in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 11:11, it says, nevertheless, in the Lord, woman is not independent of man, nor man of woman. For as woman was made from man, so man is now born of woman. And all things are from God.
Amen.
One of the biggest things that is happening is that we are causing division in everything. Everything is separate. Everything is we make men clothes and women's clothes. That's good, you know what I'm saying? Or you have to sit over here and you be over here, and it's always some type of division. And that's what the enemy wants. He wants everything. He's a house divided can't stand. Right? And so if I can cause division within the house, or even cause division even within the marriage, or not even the marriage, but the whole family structure. That's why you got baby daddies now, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even know what that is. That has to be a spirit that for 9 months we was cool. After I had this baby, now we can't stand each other. Just division. Because now it has to be this, and this, And so I believe that is taken away, even from women wanting to be mothers. It's devaluing motherhood. Right?
Well, I would have to agree with you, because they're struggling trying to figure out who they are. If you're constantly in a battle of saying, okay, should I have more power or less power? You know what I mean? And if I'm a mother, then I'm feeling like I'm powerless because I don't have the role of the male. But that's a confusion.
Well, yeah,
It's a confusion.
if the family was structured like it was meant to be structured, then it would be an equality because we bounce off of one another when it comes to the responsibilities, the raising, and certain things that he can pour into him, teaching things that I can't. Like I said, it was an example with my son. I said, bring me my purse, baby. And he threw it on his shoulder real quick and bring it to me. And his dad stopped and was like, that's not how you pass your mom your purse. You hold it up like this and bring it to her like this. Something I would have never paid any attention to. So the sexes work together to do what we're supposed to do when we're, doing things in the household and raising our children, this, that, and the other. But like I said, if you're trying to constantly be everything,
right. And we understand that some of you all will have to, you'll have to step in that role. That don't mean become the man.
But you see the women, even on Father's Day now, saying, I'm
right.
I'm getting both. I want a Father's Day gift too, because I'm your mama and your daddy, and And
if you've been doing it on your own that long, then buy your own gift.
That's becoming a whole thing,
right?
On those
it's
holidays,
sad.
And they just trying to pull down those gender sections. I do believe, that there are gender sections. It's just, like I said, some things we're just meant to do, but the lines are trying to be blurred, and they're trying to just get rid of all of the lines.
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't really understand who's feminine, who's masculine. Let's just do the equal everything all the way across the board, and let's get away from that.
And it's so weird because that's just not it's not normal. Like it's just not normal.
But it's almost like that's where the enemy is coming in agreement.
Yeah.
Like, let me use this feminism thing,
right,
for my purposes. And how about let's just make it all?
And see, that's gonna get all the way into gender and everything because people are changing their entire gender. You know what I'm saying, to be this. And I've seen men, why would you want a period or administration, or why would you want to be pregnant? Why do you what's in your mind that make you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you think of each way, it's to the extreme.
Yeah.
If you're a male who wants to be a female, you're acting like something that we don't do. Y'all done took it to a whole nother level of something that's not feminine.
That's right.
That's not feminine. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the women who overdoing the men role. I ain't seen no men really acting like what they be acting like. How you gonna be harder than a real man?
Come on here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that, come on.
Yeah.
So like, it's so many things, and I'm not speaking against homosexuality.
Yeah.
So
No, we're not.
please do not, think that the Creators Girls is, about that. What I'm saying is, if you a man, you a man. If you're a woman, you're a woman.
Yeah.
I'm a real boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you got to, it's okay if that's what you want to be. You know what I'm saying? But be who you are in that. Why you got to try to conform to something that's not you, an image that's not you? Even if you have them feelings, even if you are like that.
Yeah, back to what I was saying. Like, if I'm a feminine woman, why do I gotta act like a man at work?
Yeah.
Right.
Why do I gotta kind of fold into that role? Like me as a female barber, it was like a big deal in the beginning trying to figure out how do I fit into this boys club kind of situation. And I do notice that most of the girls that are female barbers eventually become real tomboyish, real, because you're trying to fit in. And then I had to decide early on, like, no, I'm gonna be a girl and I'm gonna still be able to do this because that has nothing to do with my gender. Like, if I'm a woman, I believe I'm a woman that can shoot pool. I'm a woman that like to bowl. I'm a woman that like to go to the range. There's a lot of typically male things that I like to do, but that does not take away from my femininity whatsoever. I'm still be a lady. I'm still, I hate to really see when women feel like they can square up with a man. Now that really bothers me. Where you just being so overly and convince yourself to be so masculine.
Please have a seat.
Right.
Before you have a seat.
I believe it all boils down to authority without understanding.
Come on.
When we get in these positions, life, period, the role that we are as we grow into women, as we grow into men, and you're not taught something properly, and you have this authority, you're misled because you are following things, for one, that you probably heard or seen, either in your home front, churches, wherever you pick it up from. And it's an authority when it comes to the role of life. God is set in order, and there's an authority in it. There's an authority for the man, there's authority for the woman. It's authority for us over our children, and how we raise them and bring them up in the world to carry on in the world, right? And God is the head authority, right? So I think that it all boils down to no understanding in these areas. You have no understanding in the real role of a man. You have no understanding in the real role of a woman. And that's why when you're given any leadway, you can take it and run so far with it.
True.
For a woman to think in any area that they don't need a man, I need a man.
Believe me.
I need my man.
Listen.
And for a man in any way to think that they don't need a woman, because there are men that think that they don't need a woman. I don't need a woman, and it's just
And that's the
it's
Wonder
just
Woman
areas
syndrome.
like
Remember Wonder
you're
Woman?
going to need a woman. There's areas in your life that you're gonna need a woman for something, or you're gonna turn somewhere else and you're gonna look at. That's why we have so much confusion with the men leaning towards the man. And once again, I know that people have had situations and traumas and things, attachments and things that come with areas of trauma, but most of the time it comes from a lead and follow game. So if you see that I don't, you teaching me as a mother or single, mother, or you teaching me, you don't have to depend on these women for nothing. I'm going to teach you how to cook. I'm going to teach you how to clean your own stuff. I'm going to teach you how to, do whatever you need. Yeah. So when you don't need no woman, if you teach your son that, then in his mind, he don't need no woman. But there's some area in a man's life, whether he don't need her to cook or clean, he's going to need her for something.
Right.
And so that's where that male role comes in, where they're portrayed to be a woman, and then they mislead men in other areas. Because there's still, a man is going to be a man, and there's still a need there that God has set on a man. That's why when woman was made, she's made as a helpmeet, but there's also something that is inside of a man that has to come out, and that's the seed of man.
Absolutely.
The order has been set.
The order
Right.
The bottom line. The order has been set. And if we follow the order, we won't have a bunch of confusion.
That's it.
Amen on that.
It's that.
Well, guess what, y'all?
Okay.
Guess what time is it?
What is it?
It's time for the Bishop's Corner. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Bishop's Corner.
Talk to us, Bishop.
Welcome to the Bishop's Corner of the Creator's Girl Talk Show. I am your humble servant, Bishop Dwayne, the Creator's Boy Coleman. And today's topic is, has the feminist movement gone too far? What a topic to tackle, especially in this little few minutes I got. But anyway, I really believe, as one of the sisters just said, the standard was set at the beginning. God created man. That's a species. He created him, and he created them male and female. And then he said, it is not good for man, for Adam, to be alone. So I'm going to make him a helpmeet. I just see it all as redundant. What's there to prove? If you are a helpmeet, that means you bring something to the table. It also means that the man needs help. Hi. So that being the case, I really believe that helpmeet means one who has the same ability as the one who needs help. In other words, if the one who needs help is not able to do it, then the helper is able to take up the slack. Where's the issue? Where's the problem? What's to prove? The standard is set. God already said it. And so, that being said, if the man is not fulfilling a dream, a vision, a purpose, a destiny, he doesn't need to look for help. And you women, those who are looking for a husband, look for somebody with a dream, a vision, a purpose, a destiny. They need help. Other than that, I don't see the issue. Thanks for listening. This has been the Bishop's Corner of the Creator's Girl Talk Show. Thank you so much. God bless you.
We're back. Woo! We hope you enjoyed the Bishop's Corner.
Yes.
Oh, he said some juicy stuff in there. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to talk about we're getting ready to show you all a clip.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to let you watch it right quick.
The left destroyed traditional mores with regard to relations between the sexes. The original idea was that men were supposed to act with honor and chivalry in protecting women, and women were supposed to look for example, relationships just as men were. Sexual activity was supposed to be confined, this was at least the ideal, was supposed to be confined to committed relationships, particularly marriage. Not everybody lived up to that, but a huge number of people did. When you don't teach men to protect women, you get men who will victimize women. And when you don't teach women that they ought to cherish men who are responsible and good, all you end up doing is incentivizing bad male behavior. The feminist movement was not wrong when they said men are acting like pigs. They were wrong when they said women also ought to act like pigs and that this is a solution to our problem.
So, in the clip, one of the things that he brought out was that men should be taught to protect the women. And the women are supposed to be taught to honor the men. And when you don't teach them both those things, that abuse is inevitable, right? Mm-hmm. And this is what's happening. And this is one of the reasons why men and women want to be each other, because they have that stigma now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do it, you can do it, whatever. And so I believe that if we go back to the traditional values, which that's one of the things that everybody is trying to get rid of, is traditional values, traditional Christian values. Nobody wants to flow that way because it says that it takes away from the other person. Even when it comes down to the word submit, a lot of people don't want to submit. And in a relationship, it's not just the woman submitting to the man has to submit to the woman as well, and he also has to submit to God, and she has to do the same thing. And so I believe if we learn how to submit to one another, if we learn what our roles really are, then we really wouldn't even have a feminist movement or a LTGB, movement or whatever movement. Everybody would know exactly who they are, but because we don't teach them who they should be and let their identity come, we're telling people who they are. So I believe we have to get back to the traditional values, right? Because when you don't teach the men that they need to protect the women, then they abuse the women. And vice versa, because there's women out here that, when I was younger, a man took advantage of me, so now I'm in this relationship, and you won't say this to me, or you won't do that to me, and then she bashing him in the head. So it goes both ways, right?
Right.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
We agree 100%.
No, yeah.
I mean, we believe that,
agreeable.
right, it's totally agreeable.
Right.
Yeah, we need the core value back in the family.
And they need to see that example.
Yeah,
Right.
they do.
And
They
it needs to
really
be
need
taught.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to know that there's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with being feminine. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with a real man being masculine. It's nothing wrong with him wanting to protect the, family. There's nothing wrong with a woman who wants to submit to her husband. A lot of times the problem came in is that we submitted to the wrong people. We gave everybody that opportunity. And that opportunity wasn't meant for everybody. It was meant for your husband. I mean, he even talks about how we're supposed to have stuck to the plan. You know what I'm saying? We didn't stick to the plan. Some people did, some people didn't. And then when they stuck to the plan, they abused that plan because there's a lot of womanizers out there. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's a lot of women who had no intention on treating that man good.
That's right.
So it goes both
or
ways.
know how to do it.
Right.
And then they do that to their sons. I see so many women. I'm like, this your baby, but then they get to a certain age where they're not cute and tiny no more.
Yeah.
And they just start just
Beating them down.
beating them down left and right and calling them, out their name.
It ain't gonna be nothing. You're gonna be like, you're
just-
no good daddy, and blah, blah,
Stripping
blah.
it in there.
Right, and he just insecure, skittish, and he don't know how to be masculine anymore because the minute a woman go off on him in the world, it's reminding him of his mom, and he just ball up and curl up, or he want to fight, depending on
Right.
what his
Or it
psychological
goes
stance is.
the other way, and he becomes feisty and abusive.
Yeah.
So we want to say today that in some ways we are feminists. In some ways, feminism has went too far.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, what can you do with that? There's nothing you can really do with that because in this world today, everything goes. And even the stuff that used to be truthful and pure is now tainted with the world, how the world wants to do it, and it's not right. And, well, it's not right now, but to somebody else it'd probably be right. But today on Creators Girl Talk Show, we support everybody, so we're not a one-sided crew. We believe that the men should be celebrated as well as the women should be celebrated, but we also believe in our Christian values because we all are Christian women, right?
That's right.
So, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feared the Lord, she shall be praised. This has been another episode of Creators Girl Talk.
Listen.
We can talk about anything.